everyone. Today, the artist that I'm going to be listening to for the first time is Bonnie Tyler, and the title of the song is Total Eclipse of the Heart. Well, that's gives some interesting images in the mind, doesn't it? So I'm curious to see what it's all about. Let's see what I have to read first. Gaynor Sullivan, known professionally as Bonnie Tyler, is a Welsh singer who is known for her distinctive husky voice. Oh, Welsh singer. Well, a lot of you know I have a bit of a soft spot for Welsh music, Welsh singers. Maybe I will like it a lot. Let's see how it is. Her work has earned her 3 Grammy Award nominations and 3 Brit Award nominations, including twice for British Female Solo Artist, among other accolades. In 2022, she was awarded an MBE in the Queen's Birthday Honours for services to music. In the 1980s, Tyler ventured into rock music with songwriter and producer Jim Steinman. That's the same composer, songwriter, who did Bat Out of Hell, with that, which I just recently listened to by Meatloaf. This sounds promising. He wrote Tyler's biggest hit, Total Eclipse of the Heart. The song, a duet with Rory Dodd, became Tyler's biggest career hit, topping the UK singles chart and becoming the 5th best-selling single in 1983 in the United Kingdom. In the United States, the single spent 4 weeks at the top of the charts. The song was nominated for the Grammy Award for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance. Worldwide, the single has sales in excess of 6 million copies and was certified gold by the Recording Industry Association of America for sales of over 1 million copies after its release, updated to platinum in 2001 when the certification threshold changed. In 2015, the song was voted by the British public as the nation's 3rd favorite 1980s #1 in a poll for ITV. Well, sounds like a favorite. I guess this idea of her being a Welsh singer with a distinctive voice really has me eager to listen. So here we go.
Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit lonely and you're never coming around. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of listening to the sound of my tears. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit nervous that the best of all the years have gone by. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit terrified, and then I see the look in your eyes. Turn around, bright eyes. Every now and then I fall apart. Turn around, bright eyes. Every now and then I fall apart. Every now and then I get a little bit restless and I dream of something wise. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit helpless and I'm lying like a child in your arms. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit angry and I know I've got to get out and cry. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit terrified, but then I see the look in your eyes. Every now and then I fall apart. Every now and then I fall apart. And I need you now tonight. And I need you more than ever. And if you only hold me tight, we'll be holding on forever. And we'll only be making it right, 'cause we'll never be wrong. Together we can take it to the end of the line. The love is like a shadow on me all of the time. I don't know what to do and I'm always in the dark. We're living in a powder keg and giving off balls. I really need you tonight. Forever's gonna start tonight. Forever's gonna start tonight. Upon a time I was falling in love, but now I'm only falling apart. There's nothing I can do, a total eclipse of the heart. Once upon a time my life, but now there's only love in the dark. Nothing I can say, a total eclipse of the heart.
It's interesting that both this song and the Meatloaf song, which was also by Steinman, composed by Steinman, have such have quite a bit of piano. Maybe that's one of his composer trademarks. I don't know. I have only listened to these. I'm only listening to these two, but when I hear something like that, one after the other, by the same composer, creator, I begin to think, all right, is this something that is really one of their signatures? And so now I'm curious, and maybe at some point in the future I'll have to check out some more Steinman composed music because I'm curious now to see, is this something that is common in his music, where he has other instruments coming and going. There's the guitar, there are the drums, but the piano seems to be the glue that holds it all together, and especially the canvas on which the voice paints its music, paints its image, which brings me to this voice. It is an interesting voice, isn't it? I guess I would say it has a very deep, vibrant quality to it. It's not soft. It's not what I would call a warm voice. It's also not a hard voice, but there's a vibrancy to it, a sort of inner potency that comes out no matter how she's shaping the music. And so it always feels a bit, well, quite alive, doesn't it?
Falling apart. Nothing I can do, a total eclipse of the heart. Once upon a time there was light in my life, but now there's only love in the dark. Nothing I can say, a total eclipse of the heart. Total eclipse of the heart. Turn around, bright eyes. Turn around, bright eyes. Turn around.
Well, that was an interesting kind of combination of voice and music. I'm thinking about it, and I can't help but really pay attention to the design of the music, the composition itself. I'm going to give attention to that first before I talk more about the singer's voice. And the reason I can't help it is because I just listened to, just recently, the Meatloaf song, Bat Out of Hell, also by Steinman. And so it's fresh in my mind. And it's so interesting to me that I've now heard two pieces by the same composer, sung by different artists. And I don't know if I've ever done something quite like this in such close proximity to each other in this journey so far. There's something about this that is a little bit akin to the classical world, because very often we have composers who are not the performers, especially when we're talking about dead composers, right? But even in the modern classical world, there are composers who are commissioned. They either compose music because they want to, or because they have an idea, or perhaps some artist commissions them. They like their work, and so the artist says, will you please write a piece of music for me? And so a piece of music is written with that performer in mind. Well, I don't know how this worked out. Was this sort of a commission? Who knows? It doesn't matter. But the idea that the composer is different from the performer. And I have heard two different performers, the same composer, in close proximity. And I can't help but pay attention to that part of it now. So please don't think that I am not paying attention to Bonnie Tyler. I will. But let me pay attention to Steinman first. I have to say that compositionally, Bat Out of Hell had a lot more appeal to me than this one. Let's see, Total Eclipse of the Heart. I almost said turn around because that's the first line of each verse, but no, it's Total Eclipse of the Heart. Why is that? And I'm thinking about that. Why is it that Bat Out of Hell felt so much more interesting and engaging compositionally? Well, the fact is, it's a heftier piece of music. It really is. It has a lot more shape and substance and stuff that is part of the music. This Total Eclipse of the Heart is a very simple little tune, simple little song. It has a simple piano accompaniment. It is very well done. Everything happens when it should happen, how it should happen. There weren't moments like when I commented in Bat Out of Hell, the way the guitar solo brought me to expect a solo moment, and then the voice entered, and there was that sort of not a weird surprise, but just a nice, rewarding unexpectedness to the way the music progressed, and yet in a very logical manner. This song doesn't have that kind of opportunity to it because it is much simpler in its construct and its design. But of course, it needs to be, because the lyrics are also very simple little verses. There are some things that appeal to me about it, though. This turnaround phrase, which comes at the beginning of every verse, by a different voice. And it's so interesting to me that a song featuring a specific singer, a specific voice, focusing on that, even on that story being sung by that voice, it's not the first thing we hear. Not at the beginning, and not even all the way through. We hear this other voice singing, turn around, and then the main focus comes in. Then this kind of offstage voice And then the main story. It's an interesting setup and way of presenting this, and that actually did surprise me because, as I said at the beginning, I was eager to hear the voice, the singer. Who is she? What does she sound like? And the first thing I hear, really? That's her? And then I suddenly realized by the second line, oh no, that wasn't her. It was a surprise. I didn't hear the main singer at first. Happening just once? Okay, nice idea. But it's built into the poetry, the design of the piece. And that's a nice way of setting it. Compositionally, it's handled very well. I start to feel like I begin to get a sense of what Steinman is doing. He's very skilled. He knows exactly when to do something, how to set something, when to build the climax, when to let it release. Everything happened exactly right in this song. Still, the compositional elements of it didn't hit me as incredibly impressive. So, having laid that to rest, let me talk about this voice a little bit. So Bonnie Tyler. You know, it was interesting to me. I almost expected, knowing that she was a Welsh singer, I almost expected to hear more accent. And I was quite impressed that I didn't pick out any notable accent that would identify her as even British, much less Welsh. And that speaks to her skill in shaping and presenting the language in a way that is very accessible to, well, the whole world, the whole English-speaking world. And even those who don't speak English so well, they could understand her and follow her. As I said, her voice has this inner core of vibrancy to it, a sort of zing. I'm reminded of Itzhak Perlman, the violinist, talking about one of his teachers back when he was in conservatory, and was it Galamian? It might have been Galamian. It's been a while since I listened to him tell this story, so I could be wrong, but I think it might have been Galamian. Galamian was a teacher of many famous violinists. And anyway, whichever teacher it was, said, you don't have enough zhit in the sound. It needs to have the zhit. You know, you need to really have that. What he was talking about is this sort of intensity and vibrancy in the sound so that you can really carry and present the tonal and emotional and color of the music. And I guess I would say that Bonnie Tyler has a sort of zhit in her voice. Maybe that's what people say when it says she was known for her distinctive husky voice. But to me, husky doesn't really convey what I hear in her voice. And so that's something that stood out to me, and I thought, yeah, that reminds me of this conversation that I heard Perlman talk about at one point. A powerful voice, isn't it? And she takes us through, in spite of the fact that it's not a really compositionally profound piece of music. She takes us through vocally the depth of this story and the depth of this eclipse of the heart. You feel the darkness and the shadow, and you feel it grow cold in the shade. And you feel the need and the desire for a healthy relationship expressed in this voice. And that's why I wanted to talk about the composition first, because I hear her mastery and her skill as an interpreter, as a singer, as a vocalist, as a performer, in taking a simple piece of music and really making it impactful. And I appreciate that a lot. So those are the things that really came to my mind as I listened through this the first time. I want to just back up and listen to the end just once more, because there was a couple things I wanted to notice there.
We can take it to the end of the line. Love is like a shadow on me all of the time. I don't know what to do. I'm always in the dark, living in a party, taking get off spot.
Oh yes, this sort of organ.
Forever's gonna start tonight. Forever's gonna start tonight. Once upon a time I was falling in love, but now I'm only falling apart.
I like this bit here where there's her voice with a sort of a duet chorus happening. But I wanted to talk about this moment here where, again, it's the composer versus the singer, or the composer and the singer. The composer has built this climax, this build-up, which we hear with drums increasing in tempo. We hear a sort of organ sound. Maybe it's a synth organ, but anyway, whatever it is, organ building up. All of this, and a scale walking up. Isn't it everything exactly right, stacked in the right place?
Together we can take it to the end of the line. Love is like a shadow on me all of the time. I don't know what to do. I'm always in the dark, living in a party, taking get off spot. I really need you tonight. Forever's gonna start tonight. Forever's gonna start tonight. Once upon a time I was falling
And now her
in
voice
love.
enters.
Now I'm only falling apart.
And she doesn't have to be all sappy and over dramatic in her presentation, because of the power of the emotion that she condenses and distills into her voice. The line, let me read it properly. Once upon a time, there was a light in my life. Or was it I was falling in love? I'm not sure my lyrics are exact. Oh, I have to read in the right place. I was falling in love, but now I'm only falling apart. She doesn't take you through some over dramatic reading of that. And because of that, you feel the hardness of it, the painfulness of it, all the more deeply, because she's not being, oh, poor me, drama queen. It's as if the truth is just cutting to you.
Once upon a time I was falling in love, but now I'm only falling apart. Nothing I can do, a total eclipse of the heart.
Nice little writing of the shape of the phrase there. And then this guitar comes in.
Once upon a time there was light in my life, but now there's only love in the dark. Nothing I can say, a total eclipse of the heart. A total eclipse of the heart. Turn around, bright eyes.
Yes, and then it's the other voice, right? But her voice, well, I guess that's what stands out to me now that I'm kind of working it through in my mind. This idea that she is not being drama queen. To me, that describes it perfectly. I've been kind of feeling around. How do I express what I'm feeling? She is not being a drama queen. She's not being, oh, poor me, I'm in such a terrible... It is simply telling us exactly how it is. No extra fluff to the story. And because of that, we are able to feel very deeply the truth of what is being sung. That is what her voice is doing so well with the music. And that is what really makes this piece stand up and walk. Yeah, that's it. That's what I feel in her artistry, in her handling of the music. Well, this has been an interesting experience and kind of different to focus on a composer rather than an artist for a weekend. And I have gotten to see the same composer handled by two different artists, not just two different voices, but a male voice and a female voice, both of whom are pretty good sized names. They're big names in the music world, at least from what I gather. And see how they handle the music, even in different genres, really, because I couldn't put these two in the same category. Masterful performers handling a composer's work. And it's been a fun little change to the approach, and one that I've enjoyed this weekend, and maybe I should do it again sometime in the future because it kind of appeals to me from my classical background where we do so much of this, and really critiquing that artist's interpretation of this composer versus that one. And it's kind of along the same lines as the great covers series, right? Because the same piece, different interpretations, different handlings. Now it's the same composer, different music, different genres, but still the same person created the music before it's performed. I have to try to be clear because music can mean many different things, right? The sheet music, the written music, the design of the music, the structure of it, or the performance of it, or the sound that we hear, all of those things. So now this has been kind of a mix of all of those things, and it's been fun. I'll see you soon.